welcome back
Hey.
to Four Hosts. I will be a fifth host today because we like ruining the meme. There are 5 lights, you guys. There are actually 5. So
How many lights do you see?
There are 4 hosts featuring Voidcat, who is humoring us by watching Picard, which
oh my
we
god.
very much appreciate.
There we go.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm back. It's me, Void.
Woo, USA or Canada.
I cannot wait to hear the verdict from Void. Like, I'm so
Same.
excited for
Oh my
this.
god. Yeah. None of you have any idea how I felt about it. Okay.
I have arguments
We'll get
ready
there
to
soon.
convince you just in case you didn't like it.
Okay, we'll get there soon. First, who the heck are you? 4 hosts.
I
Go
am
from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
Let's
I am
do it.
Michael. You can find me, well, on the internets. If you don't know where, that's too bad. I'm Michael the Beetle Taylor. There we go.
He's
Hey,
in your
everyone.
hearts.
I am Just Average J. You can find me online everywhere at Just Average J.
I am Keith Justice Hayward. You can find me on the Twitter at Keith Hayward, on Instagram at Keith Justice, and you can find my podcast, The Couch Command, on the internet.
Woohoo!
Nice. And I'm Max Wallenstein. You can find me on Instagram these days at Max Wallenstein.
And welcome back to Star Trek Picard. Before we start, I just want to say one thing. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I told you it would be related to the Borg. I told you. And his DNA. I said it. I was right.
You were right.
Which
But that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I think they're an appropriate end villain for this crew.
Well,
Yeah.
you know how I feel about the Borg. So I love the Borg. So I was good.
Okay. I do know how you feel about the Borg, Jay. And for those of you who don't know, Jay and I, when we first met briefly, were a streaming team together before we were told that that would be a problem because we don't own the IP. We
Yeah.
were the Borg.
Yes,
Of
that Borg. Jayers of Borg.
Mhm.
And then a lawyer was like, yeah, probably shouldn't do that.
You probably shouldn't do that. Yikes.
Stupid
Okay.
lawyers.
Lawyers.
Okay, well, since you brought it up, let's start with that. How do we feel about the villains of this show?
Well, it was the Borg and the Changelings, or the Dominion.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
found that like a little sad because I think that makes it even harder for DS9 to get their own thing.
Yeah, I was okay. I'll say like overall, I loved it, of course, but there's a little bit of a misdirect. Like
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. They were like, it's Changeling.
yeah, like
That's the
oh,
Borg.
Changelings, it's like Borg, like how
They actually
Changelings
teamed
and
up.
Borg work together every so often. Like never, ever, like
Never,
all
ever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
like because they needed the plot to happen, and they I won't complain too much because they did do it well. Like the pieces did fit to create the tapestry of like the story we saw, and like and how you would infiltrate the Federation with elements we already know. So
It's easier to
I'm-
infiltrate if you have changelings on your side for sure. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm
Well, I
good
mean-
with it. It's just that like we're like changelings. Oh shit, this goes way to the lake itself. Will this involve Cisco? No, it's the Borg.
Nope.
Oh,
And it wasn't,
Okay.
it's not the real changelings. It's the changelings that were like, experimented on, which made it,
Rogue.
made them even
Oh,
more
right.
bad,
Like,
right?
Angsty
Like,
rogue changelings. Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
it has-
we torturing people now. That's how we do it in Star Trek.
Apparently.
on
being-
black sites in Starfleet. Yeah, that's not okay.
No.
Stop doing
So-
that to Starfleet, everybody.
So
Please
so
stop.
that'll tell you a little bit of how I feel.
I feel like everything is just anything that goes against what we know and love about Starfleet is like, it's Section 31 acting up again.
Yep,
Don't worry
that's
about
where
it.
that's where
I
I
do
look too.
worry about that. I do worry
Oh,
about
absolutely.
that.
Yes.
Okay. So I know you guys are wondering. I don't know about everybody at home, but do you want me to tell you how I feel about
We're all leaning
Yes.
forward to our
Like,
screens
yeah,
and microphones
yeah.
right now.
Literally.
So
Yeah.
much
We're
anxiety.
all
I can't
all
wait to
here.
hear this.
Okay. So there's this word that I love, which is ambivalent, right?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
The intention of ambivalent is not like I feel middle about it. I feel extremely in both directions about this. There were bits that I really loved. There were performances that I thought were amazing. Obviously, you know, it's nice to see everybody again. But let me just drop that Bro Laren.
Yep, I thought you were gonna do that.
Holy God, did that woman act? Oh my,
She deserves a show of her own.
Like, oh, I'm in love with her now. Oh no,
Absolutely.
I mean,
she deserves a
obviously
show of her
won't
own.
get that.
So that's what you loved. You weren't mad at what they did.
Was
They
Ro?
should have.
Yeah.
I think they should have used her a bit more. But yeah, she did a great job.
Absolutely.
I was mad that. Oh, there's going to be spoilers in this, guys.
Yes.
If you haven't watched Picard, maybe don't listen to this quite yet. Everybody recommends it. I kind of recommend it. You know, whatever. Watch it if you haven't, and then come back. I was so mad that they killed her.
Yes.
I was like, she was so good, and then you guys just, for Picard's sake, did you? What? Why? But yeah, she was.
I've been preparing for weeks for you to say this, and okay, here's my rationale. I think I got on her death, because like when I was watching it, I was also mad. I was like, oh, God damn it! Like you just brought her back to kill her.
I understand why they killed her. Like,
yeah,
plot wise, it would be more difficult if they didn't. But I'm mad about it anyway. I don't care.
For me, it was more of like the price of the joy that we got. Wise is what we saw. Like, and all like great stories. If you're going to have some awesome stuff, you have to pay a dear price. So if you want to get Spock brought back to life, that's going to cost you Kirk's son. And like this, I have always wanted to see this crew back together, and they have to make me pay a price, and it has to matter. It can't be like Jimmy McStuffingjunk who just showed up for this season. Like, oh, not Jimmy. Oh, I guess we
love
paid a
Jimmy,
price.
Oh, not another red shirt.
And like the only person that matters that was really part of the crew that could make me feel the price was Ro. And I understand that, but then there's like a little bit of me cheating, right? Where like I didn't see her body, you know.
The shuttle she was in exploded, but I'm sure it's fine.
I know I cheat a
It's
little
just a
to
flesh
myself.
wound.
Maybe we don't know because like there was going to be like they were going to make her survive, like that was on the table and considered, and like they're going to. But I think Terry was like, you have to pay a price at all, and there's only one person that can do that and make you feel it. It's Ro.
Yeah, I think Ro, like I was saying, deserves her own show. Like Ro, obviously not now, but Ro, like
5 years ago,
sorry.
Section 31.
But like Ro, the character of Ro was amazing and is amazing and always has been. And the moments that she had with Picard were like pulling my heartstrings. Like I was just, I was so invested in it, and it was like the payoff we never got from TNG. And they both admitted what they felt toward each other and how they felt, and it was this moment that was just beautiful. And between those two, that actor and that actress, like that's as good as it gets. Like they're the best of the best.
Her
she still got it.
Oh my God,
I loved her performance back in the day, and she still brings the heat like today. So
100%. It was so good, and I was pretty distraught when she died as well. But again, I kind of knew something had to happen. But still, like I was hoping she would have like made it and been a part of Picard's team, you know?
That was my hope. Yep.
But I mean, like we all agree, like you have to pay a price when you get something that's good, right? And like there's no one else to do it to.
I agree that it was done for emotional weight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you have to do it though.
Right. Yeah. Does it have to be a capital price? And
I think it was more. It was more because they didn't want to have to try to fit her in later on. Frankly, so.
I'll say I think yet for like this big of a gift of seeing everyone back together, because like I feel like
it just was a narrative space for her character to survive, basically.
Yeah, like I feel like we talked about other things where like recently in modern times, like we don't pay a price, and like you kind of do feel that tiny bit of emptiness of oh, everything turned out okay. Everybody survived. All right, that's how I kind of wanted it to be, but you pay the dark price for the reward. Is what how I rationalize it, and then I have my tiny secret that I hide for myself. Baby, she survived. I didn't see her body.
Right.
That's what
is it much of a price though if they brought her character back just to kill her?
Yes, because we all felt it. Like she killed that scene. It was a great performance between two characters we love. They had it passed. We felt the weight.
Once again, a lot of this show has a lot more weight if you know TNG. So I would say maybe to somebody who's only watched Picard, no, absolutely not. They'd be like, "Who's this person? I don't know what's happening. Oh, she's gone."
I think there's a lot of that. Like
it is a companion series. Like Picard just won't make sense to anybody who hasn't watched TNG, frankly.
Yeah.
I'll say very likely. The only thing I'd say back to that is any person off the street could see the chemistry between them two and the scene that they had.
Oh yeah,
feel that emotional. So even if you don't know who she is, you'd still feel the weight of her loss.
Yeah. So I'm so glad you said that, Keith, because that brings up another interesting point for me. Yes, if you come to the scene not knowing either of these characters, it will feel very strong. But in the whole concept of the narrative, like you have to have more context for it to really like have its proper weight. We kind of see the opposite with the other performance that I was really surprised and impressed by, which was Todd Stachwick, who played Captain Shaw.
I loved his character.
Oh my god, my favorite moment of his character is when he meets Geordi in person and he's like trying to be calm, and then Geordi's like, "If this were a different situation, I'd geek out with you," and he like does a little like jump and screech. I was like, that is a nerd. By the way, he plays Dungeons and Dragons for his character. That like actual play Dungeons and Dragons group, Todd. Good. So he really is a nerd, and I bet you he was like, I'm not gonna act here. This is just me meeting LeVar Burton.
He had Jerry Ryan play Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. I follow his I follow his social media, and his dungeon room is insane. It's so cool. Like he is so cool. I love him as a person. No, I'm sorry. As a person, like as a human being, he is so cool. And then his character, I mean, the moment where his monologue where he's going off about Wolf 359, I messaged him on like Instagram, or I was like, you're probably not going to see this because I put it like in the comments of one of his posts, but I was like, dude, you killed it, man. Like like your monologue just pulled me. Like I was so just drawn, and I was like, you are such an amazing actor. He really killed it.
Yeah,
I agree. I pushed back a little. I will not stop them from doing it. It's good, but it's a thing that I didn't like in Winter Soldier, and here you can't hold people who had no choice in the situation responsible for those actions. Like Picard had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
Keith, I think logically you are correct, but I think it's very human of people to do so.
Oh yeah.
Like I totally get character-wise, nailed it. I mean that really fits. We can take a step back and be like, is that fair? And no, but
Picard was a face, like a face to put to his pain or whatever. So
also. This actually made me more sure that the Borg were going to show up, because I was like, oh, this is set up. This explains to us why he hates Picard. It explains to us why he's so rude to Seven and he won't use her Borg name. He absolutely cannot stand the Borg. Makes perfect sense. But also, the Borg are coming. There's no way they're not after this speech. It's like, hey, just so you guys remember what Worf and also Locutus, we just need you to remember those pieces. Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about that scene for a different reason. But let me finish with Todd. The last scene when he was alive with 7 of 9 was tremendous. They both acted the heck out of it. And it had a lot of weight because of that and because of Jerry Ryan's amazing acting. Yes. But I have frustration with the way that his character exists in the show. Because, like, there's moments where he's a total asshole, and then other moments where he's helping them, and, like, reluctantly or otherwise. She Seven of Nine does not respect his opinion until it's like, oh shit, now I gotta like. I feel like the relationship, like they acted the heck out of it, which made me really emotional. But narratively, the relationship wasn't earned.
I guess maybe on screen we didn't see it, but like maybe it's implied that they had more chemistry that we didn't see off screen.
They're like total jerks to each other, and then they start working together because they don't have a choice. And then like suddenly her opinion of him and his opinion of her like have weight, and I just feel like it wasn't really earned.
My appreciation of Shaw comes from his complete. He has no forgiveness for stealing starships. Like, please, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
please
And
stop
I do
stealing
want you
starships.
guys to like argue with me and convince me otherwise, but that's how I feel about it right now.
I can't argue with it. I guess like we're in shorthand, like 10 episodes, can't really do the full evolution of their relationship. You gotta get to the end of the season. So there's some weaknesses.
This
but
silence is telling.
Well, per usual, Void tends
You
to have
disagree?
very good. No, Void has very good points.
Rough.
So it's no like, sorry, I can't think of the word, but no, nothing for
No
me.
notes.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
notes. Like you're right. His character. I mean, his character is amazing, and I love his line about at some point like asshole took over for charm or something like that,
Yeah.
or something like that. And like I like the flip-flopping of his character like that. Again, I think it is because they were like, we got to get this done. You know what I mean? So but at the end of it, I loved his character.
I just love when they first met and they were having dinner and they were requesting like Picard and Riker about requesting getting a ship, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna give you a ship.
Yeah, those hilarious.
all you guys do is break the rules.
Right.
Not cool.
Right.
Not cool. I'm not gonna laugh with you guys about this.
What do you say? You guys have a whole chicken and egg thing going on. Like, dude.
So speaking of chicken and egg things, they also I feel like they worked backwards for the final the final thing that he says to Seven is one, he has to give the ship to Seven because at first he was like, nah, get off my deck, Hanson. And two, he has to call her 7 of 9. So, like I feel like it was like, okay, we're gonna start with that very sad speech at the end and then like kind of like put in the pieces so that it weighs more later, which is why he was such an asshole about calling her Hanson the whole time.
Yeah.
So they could have that moment at the end where he's like, I finally acknowledge you. I will call you the name you prefer.
Character arc.
Yeah.
that's
I
good.
hope his character comes back in some fashion. Like Todd deserves
I hope he does
his own
Todd.
show.
Yeah. I'm like,
he deserves his own show. 100%.
How
Like,
frustrating for him that he gets to be on Star Trek. Like, what a nerd's dream. And then
oh my God.
like, is an
that's
asshole
it.
and dies.
Yeah.
Another
But
price.
no, like they've talked about ways that they would bring him back, his character back. I mean, that's talked about because people love him, like love his character. I love his character, so I'm like, I would 100%. If he had his own show, I would be there right when it started.
I might love
every
his
single
character
week.
more if it
He'd
was
make a really great. Oh, sorry. I think he'd make a really great command counterpart to the Doctor.
Mhm.
So like like the emergency command hologram or something, where he just,
I
he comes
see
up
where
to be
you're
the
coming
captain.
from, but they did
I
make
think
one already of Janeway.
Yeah, but that's more like a super good teaching hologram. Like he's clearly not a good teacher, but
So like,
go ahead.
Making him a hologram? Is that what you said?
yeah,
So here, I watched a podcast where they talked about different ways that like he could come back, and like if you remember, the Genesis device is at that section 31
oh my
place.
god,
The Genesis device is there. A hologram. He could have, Seven could have used nanoprobes, right? To like, because I guess in Voyager she used her nanoprobes to save someone. Yeah, so like there are multiple. There were like 10 ways that they were like they could bring him back this way, this way, this way, this way. And I'm like, oh please God, let this happen. Like I don't care how it is. I want a show with him at the helm. You know what I mean?
I
love
wanted
that. That's
him
great.
to be the captain, and that 7-9 would be the number one. Like that's what that's the ending I wanted, because I do like seeing her and him butt heads, I think that's great. I could do that for an entire series. And I don't think she's fit for the captain of the flagship of Starfleet after going rogue as a ranger and murdering people in bars and like the entire crew of. I guess I was wondering, like, did so many top people get wiped out that this is the crew that we choose for the flagship? Is that
No,
still
this
the
is the crew we choose for the flagship because they are the crew that we know as watchers. What do you
Right,
I know
care about
exactly
them?
that's
No.
why
Yeah.
they did it. I just like
Yeah.
because like what I really wanted was I don't want it to I didn't want the Titan to be the flagship. I didn't want it to be the Enterprise. I wanted it to be a lower tier ship with a
Mhm.
crew that I loved that can still go on adventures.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's like that's the continuation that I was wanting. I was like, all right, and then we go on to the adventures of the Titan A with Captain Shaw and
Yeah.
Seven
Right.
of Nine.
Well,
You know
Versus
what?
like
Sorry, with the whole like changing the name, I'm like, dude, no. Like, there's already
Yeah.
there's already an
That was-
Enterprise. Like, isn't
that
there an
was
Enterprise
probably
E
least-
or F
yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
You can't have two Enterprises. I don't care if they're different ship designs. I don't want like. There's only one Enterprise.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
That reminds me. You guys, when they go over to the Daystream and they show you the USS Enterprise from TOS and it says 1701A.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. There's specifically a line in one of the movies where Scott gets mad and he's like, "No A, no B, no C, no letter on it. It's just 1701."
I think that was when Scotty came back
He's like,
for TNG.
No
Yeah,
bloody,
where the
no
heck is
bloody
the
D.
A?
Yeah, he was like,
Where
no
did that
bloody
A come
D.
from? Anyway, I'm mad about that. It's fine. No
Yeah,
big deal.
that was my
Yeah.
I think, least favorite part of the entire season was
The
them
renaming.
trying to go for this emotional beat to rename it rename the Titan to I don't know appeal to Picard.
Enterprise, yeah.
That just hits so flat for me.
Same.
It
too.
was so
Yeah.
I
frustrating.
closed my eyes in disappointment. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
The name
I
really does
was-
matter. No, it doesn't. Please stop.
I was. Yeah, I mean, if they would have done like if it would have been better if it was Picard, if it was USS Picard,
Yeah,
or something that
yeah.
isn't the Enterprise. You know?
I
Yeah.
actually hope that it would be the USS Picard when they first started saying it was a
Mhm.
different name. I was like,
Yep,
Picard?
same.
Yikes.
I would have. Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
I still
I would have
they-
preferred that.
they definitely should not change the name. That's disrespectful to a ship that saved the galaxy, had a crew of its own and a past of its own.
Yeah,
I'm
and, like-
also personally offended by the very theme of actually the name does matter because I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's the quality of the officer. Stop it.
yeah.
Especially that being said by a kid who was like Picard, who was just joking about nepotism. Like, Jesus Christ, you guys.
Mhm.
I see on paper though why they did. Like, I was just watching the scene today, and I was like, I see exactly what they wanted to do here, and that the beat fits right there. And I don't know what else they could have done for. Hey, Picard, this one's for you, buddy. One last thing. There's nothing else they could have done. It just just went to the wrong.
They can all pretend to like his wine. I don't know.
There was a lot of
to be
cute
kind of
lines.
bitter.
Well, actually drink this stuff. Yeah. All right. Oh,
What I wanted to say too, though, is the casting of the bridge crew was brilliant. Like the helm officer, she was amazing.
Yep.
You know, LaForge's daughter.
yes.
And then having his real daughter there, she was great too.
The
That was
second
really
daughter,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like all the helms officer, the science officer, the like every person that was on the bridge crew was really, really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good bridge crew. I actually liked them. Even like the people who are relatively extras. They had good looks. They had they fit well. And I was thinking, yeah, I'd like to see this. Please do
Yeah.
this more. I'd like to see
100,
his
yeah.
faces some more pushing buttons.
100%.
More.
They were so good.
Yeah, I did
hate
want
it.
to.
I really like the tactical officer. He did a great job. That's the one with the earrings with the sun. You know?
And speaking of casting, I still have an issue with the Picard son being like 15 years older or whatever than his character is.
Yeah,
So
Definitely
just throw
not
that out
20.
there. Yeah, he's not 20 years old, but okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
You look 32.
but like we said before, he's been through some rough miles. Like,
I
Not the
also
year
feel
2000.
weird about how they were like, the next generation of kids, LaForge's kid, and then Picard and Beverly's kid, and now they like each other.
yeah, I don't like
It's
that.
just like it
Not
feels
fair.
a little incestuous.
Little icky. Yeah.
It's It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
I'm 50-50 on it. Like it's like the ending of Scrubs, where JD and the guys like they had this dream that their kids would marry each other.
Yep.
And like, oh, it's kind of cute, but they shouldn't do this. It's kind of cute though.
Yeah, it's that universe is getting smaller kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a fine sitcom ending, right? Like, but not this.
I wish you wouldn't do it.
I do like both characters, but you know,
just not together.
Yeah, it's like two friends that you like a lot that you're like they have no business dating. Like just keep them apart.
Guys, I love you, but don't do that.
It's gonna be hard on us all. Just stop.
Well, do you guys want to talk about how you feel about the series in general?
General takes starting from top to bottom.
No, like it rated 1 to 10. How much did you like it?
The series or the season?
Let's go just the season.
Let's do just the season.
The season.
Yeah,
season
as far as
Picard.
As far as I'm concerned, this is the only season that really matters.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Fair.
Yeah. I would say like if somebody came to me and say skip season 1 and 2 and just go straight to 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have said this several times to several people. I'll go as far as give this a 10 out of 10. Well, flaws included. I have my little problems here and there, but this was just like the biggest fucking hug I've had from Star Trek in so many years. They crushed it. They did everything that I wanted to feel from Star Wars. Like from it's almost like this was a direct answer to what they did with Star Wars. Right down to the Return of the Jedi ending and final lines of saying the past does matter. You got all the characters I love together again. The finale involved everybody using their strengths. And then they gave me just lots of cuddle time epilogue. They're like, no, Keith, we're not going to leave you just because the climax happened. We're gonna chill out for a while and check it out. The Q's over here too, Keith. Yeah, oh my God, the Q. This is just I was just kid in the candy store, over the moon happy. This is what I wanted to feel at the end of the sequel trilogy. Like see Luke and Leia just like smile together one last time and have an adventure.
Cool.
I had to fuck that up. All right,
Michael, what do you think?
I'd give it like a 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's some parts that I thought weren't great, but overall, I mean, like Keith said, it was like a warm hug, warm fuzzy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'd like to see them do. There was rumors of them doing like another show, like Star Trek Legacy.
Yeah, I've been seeing people ask for that on Twitter, and I don't think it's crazy to assume that that's actually a thing they're planning because they showed us the bridge crew. It's called the Enterprise now, and everyone's kids are on it. And they had that scene with John Larroquette. So like it would be silly of them to have not planned for that,
John Delancey, you mean?
Oh yeah, what did I say?
John Larroquette.
Whoops. Both amazing actors.
Different guy.
I meant John Delancey, of course.
I was like, wait, where was he?
No, yeah, but and Star Trek Picard this last season was huge in the ratings, so they'd be stupid not to do some continuation of it.
I mean, they clearly planned for it. Jake, what do you think?
I would like to know what you all think I'm going to say. I'm just curious.
9.5 or 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. 10. A fucking 10.
All right. I should have known. You're right.
Yeah. It was
honestly,
amazing.
I should have guessed you would say 11.
Yeah. I was gonna say 9.5 just because like I don't think anything's perfect. But then Keith was like 10, and I'm like, well, I can't let Keith outdo me.
I know.
All right, hang on,
man. Come on,
hang on.
Keith,
I'm going to say
the bar high right off the bat.
I'm going to out positive Jay.
Yeah. No, to be honest, it was like a big warm hug from like a family I haven't seen in 30 years. You know what I mean? Like it was emotional. I mean, I still get chills and like cry when the Enterprise comes out. The D when the D comes out.
I mean, and they played the theme
so
and
gorgeous.
like
I cry. Like I genuinely cry still whenever I see that. Like it's like because we've talked about this. Like Trek was so important to me when I was younger because I really had a rough upbringing And Star Trek every week was my little like break. Like it was like my therapy because I didn't have a therapist. So I would sit and watch Star Trek, and it helped me tune out the horrible, crazy world I lived in. And it was like
we
my.
still live in a horrible, crazy world.
I know we do. I know.
But
different.
Star Trek
Yeah.
helps you process that horribleness and
well,
gives you
yeah,
hope for the
and
future.
well, yeah, exactly. Hope for the future, and it was like my happy place, right? And I got my happy place again after 30 years, you know, and it just like it's hard not to be emotional when it means so much to you. You know what I mean?
You go ahead, you first.
I actually have a note in the notes that I said I wouldn't say of a thing that I wanted to say to you guys, and that is, admit it. You cried when they showed the bridge.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude. Yeah,
I have no reservations about admitting that I cried.
Oh yeah, no, I happily admit I cried. I cried a lot during this season.
I became quite blubbering several times. Dude, that just like seeing like the Enterprise just like, we're going out one more time, Keith, let's do this. Like, oh my god.
Even rewatching it today, I got chills. So, yeah.
Same today. Like I was watching it today, I was just eating my breakfast, and I'm like that scene where Jack goes, "I am not alone," and then like the Enterprise power drifts into like above them, and like I looked up for my food, and like I was just looking through like tears, like while I'm eating. God damn!
I knew you guys would feel that way.
Oh, it killed me.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't take that scene seriously. I'm like, the Enterprise can't move like that. I don't care who's controlling it.
Clearly, it can.
More like the Millennium Falcon, but
we saw it do it.
Yeah, we saw it do it, and the gravity of it made so little sense that I could only picture a little toy miniature moving around.
No, I loved that.
I'm sure you did.
I know that you can't like Tokyo drift through a cube, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And Data had fun. So
I did like that. They had Diana be like, "Why am I sensing enjoyment?" And Data, the friend, is like, "Wee!"
Oh man, yeah, that scene.
I don't know if you guys remember. It was in the Farpoint episode, like season 1 of TNG. At the end of it, the ending of Picard kind of reminded me when Admiral McCoy was talking to Data. And they're talking about the Enterprise, and he's like, treat her like a lady, and she'll always bring you home. Yeah, I kind of got teared up about that. It reminded me of that for some reason.
Yeah, like the final words between. Oh yeah, what did they say?
Data was treating her like a lady, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, if you know what I mean, and I think you do.
I'm trying to think of some joke of Data and the D, but whatever.
Yeah. He gave her the image of Tasha Yar's, graveyard hologram, and my brain was just like, he's like, and this is the one I banged, and oh my god, I'm so sorry.
There's a meme where like Lore looks back up to the Data and goes, "Nice."
Yeah. Well done.
Also,
I'm gonna show you this one, dude.
That was another scene that I was like, it's interesting. I like the way that he acted it and stuff, but that like at the very beginning of the scene, I was like, oh, I see Data's infecting Lore with his memories. Got it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, it was too easy for him to just be like, "Here, Lore, here's this one. Here's my cat. Here's this."
Yeah, I know, right?
It was a little too easy. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This was probably the best Data with feelings balance I've ever seen, because I've always hated Data with feelings.
He usually goes a little manic. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, like he stayed as Data, but was curious about his feelings, kind of like the Data that I loved from the series. Like, I love that balance that they struck in this show.
Speaking of Data, I love the scene where he and Geordi are in the shuttle. And he's like, "Come on, how about some positivity?" Geordi says, and Data's like, "Well, I hope they kill us quickly."
Yep.
Data and Geordi together again. Oh my god.
Okay. I want to talk about the comedy going on with like the original TNG crew. Do you guys have like favorite moments of those? Like personally,
yes,
Michael Dorn.
Worf sleeping on the bridge.
Sleeping was funny. I'm in love with the bit where Worf and Riker are together on Daystrom, and he's just like, "Yes, I prefer not fighting now." And Riker's just like, what world is this? So that was my favorite.
I like it when they're on the bridge of the D, and Worf's like, "And I will make it a threesome."
You
Riker's like,
gotta
"Hear
hear yourself.
or when Worf is like talking to Troy, like, yeah, remember when we used to date and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Riker's like, dude, I'm right here. I can hear you talk.
Every single interaction with Worf and Riker was I was just cracking up.
Michael Dorn did a great
So
job.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Worf also saying, I was afraid we're going to survive this. As they run through the Borg cube, like, yeah, yeah, God.
What was
Today is indeed a good day to die.
the scene where he was like, yes, and I am fond of Troy, is what he was talking about Troy, you know, and then Riker's like, come on, man, like that's my wife.
I'm right here, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear you say this? And then was it who said the line, I've never been so happy, see so many wrinkles? I think it was Troy.
Troy, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I clapped. God.
It was quite nice that they actually used her power.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was the big issues with TNG, where she'd always be like, I sense something is weird, but then like couldn't tell when someone was literally possessed. Oh, thank God.
Seemed to be angry. Well, they're actively firing on us. Yes, thank you, Deanna.
Oh, weird.
And was it Crusher, Dr. Crusher? She used to talk about how in the movies she wasn't happy with how much she had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And here she got to take out the gun turrets
Blazing
on board and say, what's happened in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Well, she's
fantastic.
a warrior now. She's a warrior, you know?
There is
She's
that
not just a doctor.
There's that interesting bit where she like shoots and they're like, what? And she's like, what? A lot has happened in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
It did not match, however, because the episode before or 2 episodes before that or whatever, she was talking about her oath. I'm like, you can't do both. Either you've already broken your oath or you haven't. You know?
You either value life or you don't.
It was for the line. I know.
It's more of a guideline than an oath, really.
Changelings, right?
Another thing for hopefully getting a new season is that Picard season 3 is the first time Star Trek is charted in the Nielsen's since 2017.
Oh wow!
So
there will not be another season of Picard. I think they were specific about that.
Yeah,
No,
no,
Star Trek
it could be
Legacy,
Legacy or something else. Yeah.
Legacy is definitely a thing they're planning for. There's no way they showed us that bridge like that.
Well, it's not official
at the end.
Yeah, it's not official, but it is. You know, Terry Metalis was like he was on like a live stream and he was like, yes, keep voting on that change.org thing or whatever. You know, there's like an online petition to like get Legacy happening, and he was like, and Alex Kurtman is fully aware of what you guys want, and I want it too. So we just have to like, you know, get Paramount and everyone on board. And,
you heard it from Jay. Go sign the petition.
Seriously,
I already did.
Pretty sure I did.
I did too. And the thing is, if you think about it, it would be stupid not to, because this was so highly rated.
It would be stupid not to.
Yeah, like they would make a killing if they had Legacy. A killing.
Throw money at you.
Absolutely. It's here. Take my money. Like gladly.
What did you guys think of Q showing up at the end?
Hold on. We haven't heard Max's rating yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, I was vacillating back and forth between a 9 and a 10, so I'm going to give it like 9 with a backflip, because
Okay.
It was very good. There was some flaws, but the really, really good parts had me like so like over the top jazzed for it. Like I just felt 20 years younger, so that I could actually do a backflip again, I guess. But yeah, as I forget what you said it before. Like this is the season that matters, and you know, everything else I could probably just give somebody a Wikipedia summary and to get into the show, and then tell them watch season 3, and you'll be right back in the, you know, in the feelings that you loved, and then take it beyond that. It was
back in the feels.
really, really wonderful.
Sit him down. You're like, okay, here are the important beats. Seven and Rafi were dating and are no longer dating.
Picard's a robot.
Picard's a robot. Riker and Diana have 2 kids, and one of them died. All right, now watch.
And Riker makes a damn good pizza.
Riker makes a damn good pizza.
And for me, with my particular taste of kind of enjoying when things are really bad, how bad those first 2 were made this third one that much more appreciated. Like
Yeah.
the slog, the disappointments, the horrible writing in the first 2 seasons. All of a sudden, surprise, dude! Season 3, everything you want. Let's go. And yeah, so I had fun with the first 2. They helped.
All right, let's talk about Q.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, you wanted to know. So, how do you feel about Q?
I was excited that he was there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they do a Star Trek Legacy, what part he plays. I was curious about the outfit that he had on because I didn't recognize it. It was some sort of uniform. I don't know if that would be like important in the future show, but I guess I liked him. Overall, that he showed up.
Jay?
I thought it was a bit of a cop out.
Okay.
I mean,
tell me more.
Well, because Q died. There was a whole thing, right, with Q and Picard and that whole like thing. And as much as I'm not sure that I liked that whole thing very much, it was still a sweet moment where he was just like I was there. It was almost like he was saying, I picked on you because I love you, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
We know that's true.
Yeah. And then to have him come back, it's almost like, I don't know. It just felt like it didn't fit where
it undoes something for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit where I was hoping the future would go with Legacy or anything else, because having him like pick on the new Picard, right? Well, dude, we've already done Q and Picard. Let's let Legacy be its own thing. You know what I mean?
Ooh, 100% know that I agree with you on there. That I'm like, hey, we've done this. We don't need to do it again.
Yeah, I feel like this is a moment where they just have another actor and character that we all love, and they just don't want to let go, and
can't help themselves.
We've been through it. This is one of those other things where I'm like, I really could have done without that.
I think it's really funny because I feel that way about the fact that they were like Borgs and changelings.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, am good with it. So while like
Keith and I agree on
so like when the camera was on the ship and that shot of like the I'm gonna call it the Titan in front of that star and so that
it's
star, that shot was directly requested from Terry Matalas to homage a scene of Transformers the movie from 1986 of Unicron going in front of a star. So Transformers reference in Star Trek. Just so many things I'm loving in the season.
Well, there's that. There's all the 13 Monkeys stuff, right?
Yes.
Because that was this. I mean, just so many cool little like nerd Easter eggs that just make me happy.
So when the camera was like holding on there, I was like, Q's coming back. I feel it. I could tell. And then like when he did, and he said that I wish I expect you not to think so linearly. I was like, okay, and this I can get along with, because like I thought either he was I was just fucking with Picard. Like you would do that, Q. You'd probably do that, but instead they keep the death, and now I kind of think of it as maybe that was Q at the precipice of the heat death of the universe, and he traveled back in time to say goodbye.
Yeah, frankly, that's the thing with Q. With the Q continuum in general is like, why are we assuming that something that happened later for us is something that happened later for them? Maybe that's Q before he died.
Yep. So it worked for me, especially when he said, "Don't think so linearly." I was like, that would be something the Q would do, and I can keep the emotional. Even though it was really bad, I didn't think they did well in the Picard season 2, because like Q just shows up. I don't know. I'm just dying. I don't know why. It's just happening. And like,
that was season 2. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't say why it was happening. It was just like happening. And then like the scene between the two, it was like the actors themselves saying goodbye to each other, which was beautiful. It touched my heart. So there was some emotional resonance of like his passing. But now that I can say that, it's not linear, and the only way I can think of a Q dying would be the universe itself dying, and then like of all the eons of the world, at least Picard's one of the last people who wants to get bye to. So that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
that in itself is pretty sweet.
I actually feel both ways about it. That I absolutely have no issues with the logic of Q being outside of our timeline. Same as like the aliens that hang out with Cisco not being like time. What the fuck is that?
Right.
But also I'm unimpressed by the need to just be like, and this other thing that you remember, and this other thing that you remember. Q. What about Q? You want to do Q Picard again? So.
Because I think what you were asking for is something that I've always wanted. Please leave these people alone now and go to completely new ship, completely new crew, like we got into in the Next Generation. Like in the Next Generation, we didn't have the kid of anyone. We didn't have the legacy of nothing. We just had
it's the next generation of officers, not of the literal people.
Even though as a kid I was looking for it, I was like, okay, who's Spock's kid? Who's Kirk's kid? And wait, what the fuck? None of them? Oh shit, that's how it would work. That makes sense.
I'm begging this show to stop being like, these legendary people are only the people that we had TV shows about, and nobody else in the Star Trek universe exists or matters.
That's such a common disease in modern TV, though. Like, if they're
and I hate it. That's why I'm mad at Star Wars. That's why I'm mad at Marvel. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. I'm very upset with this.
But if you don't do it, then you're the Orville, and then you get canceled.
That happens in real life too, right? Don't they call them nepo babies or something?
Nepo babies, generation after generation. Hey, a show just came out called The Idol. I haven't watched it. I heard it's not great. But guess who plays the idol?
Who?
Johnny Depp's kid.
Oh god. Oh god. But that's just it. It's like it's like, okay, well, that happens in real life, and we don't like that.
Yeah. Here's
don't do it in shows too.
Once again, I am crying about the fact that they were like, hey, we took Star Trek, which was a utopia, and then we were like, nah, we'd like it to be more like us in the future. I'm like, can we not? And then they're like,
utopias are too hard to write for.
And they were like, hey, you know who's important? Like, all officers that do their best, they're all important. And they're like, no, what if it only matters if they're related to the ones from the previous generation? I'm like, please, I'm begging you, don't do this.
I know. I mean, bringing characters back like Seven, okay, like Seven has aged and has changed since Voyager, and that's okay. Like I like seeing Seven again, right? But seeing everyone's kids taking over for their parents, when you're right, there's a plethora of characters that can just be created. You have you're an empty slate.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
Having said that, I still enjoyed seeing Tuvok come back though briefly.
Yes.
Oh, the cameos were great. Like there were some pretty cool cameos. Absolutely. Ro being my favorite, obviously. Ro was still like my favorite moment.
Oh yeah, she did amazing.
Yeah, they hid that so well too. There's no I didn't know that. I didn't know that. There's just like great right cross. Like, oh my god, Ro, you're back.
Yeah. I would like to interrupt the celebration of Star Trek Picard to have one big complaint, which is that Jack Crusher's position as a special whatever to the captain. Excuse me, what fucking track is he on? What is that? What is he supposed to be learning? What is he doing for the rest of his time?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I think that they have a straight flush of poor positioning there where, Jack, why are you at the captain's? Okay, 7 of 9, like you were just murdering people like a few years ago. And Rafi,
and they made a joke about it, yep.
Rafi,
we must be the best there is to offer. Haha.
Yeah, that's what I have to think.
Some dire freaking straits.
There was a big slaughter that happened during that takeover, and these are the leftovers of the best. So that is what I think is going on.
Yeah, I'm not super happy about it.
Now it's the Enterprise.
All right. Well, let's go back to the celebration of Picard. I just needed to slip that one in there. I'd like to hear about everybody's favorite parts. You can think about it if you want.
Okay, I would say Ro. For me, it's Ro, the Enterprise reveal. And honestly, in all of Todd Stashwick, like all of him. Seriously, like when he was like, "Oh, I started without you because I just don't care."
You were late,
yeah,
so
yeah. Well, but you said on time. Yeah, or you? That was. I thought it was at this time. Well, that's no. I start when I start. You know what I mean? Like his whole character, I loved.
I don't think I suspected the return of the D. I don't think I saw that coming until like the doors opened. Even though they said there was a secret behind this door, I thought the finale was going to be they go back to the museum and each character gets to take a legacy ship into battle. I thought that's what was going to happen.
That could have been cool.
Yeah,
that would have been
like
fun.
of course they don't have enough money for that many bridges, but they do have enough money for just one. And yeah, the return of the D, seeing them all their stations again at the oh god, that was amazing.
Was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, and then like seeing Data go, "We are the cavalry." I'm like, God, yes.
Whenever I hear you say the D, I just keep thinking giggity.
The D.
Oh. Yeah, that was...
And one question about the new bridge though. They like rebuilt it. Yep. Aren't there bridges that are already built from the D? The D.
Yeah, I thought so because they like bring them to conventions sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like, why did they have to spend all that money to recreate it when it's already created?
That's a good
they could have done something else awesome, you know?
I did like the carpet joke.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would be easier to be on a carpet than like sleek.
Yeah.
Do you mean like they would go to the places where it's already rebuilt or something?
Well, I mean, just rent out the rebuilt ones, the ones that are already built. You just rent it out and shoot on it.
Building it from scratch, they could do it, to their specifications and perfectly like they wanted.
And where you need to put cameras and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, but I'm just like, with them rushing it and the budget being the budget, I'm like, well, like you could have saved money and done something else.
That's just me. I don't think those places could be as properly lit and then shot because, like, they have to build the bridge and then like all of like the camera stuff in front and behind it so they can get all the shots that they want. And yes, bringing back carpet. Yes. That's my star. Yeah. That's my Starfleet ships.
Speaking of
4-star hotel.
Sorry. Speaking of lighting, was anyone bothered by how bright they were lighting their faces when they were on that bridge? No. Like when they were doing close-ups.
Well, not until now.
Half of their face was like blown out with light, and I'm like, bro, like where's that light coming from? Like it's shined directly at the side of their face.
That's funny because I was thinking the opposite, not about their faces. I was thinking, why is this set itself so dark? Like, fine, they choose the lighting on the other ships, but why aren't you lighting this one like?
Yeah, it just felt very off. The lighting just didn't flow right for me.
Yeah, I think their faces looked especially bright to you because the back was not lit as much as well.
Okay, I think
that
you're right.
Scans. Some of you know Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my favorite part was definitely seeing the Enterprise D again, and just having the crew back on the D bridge. It was just like seeing old friends again. So it was just that part made it. Any other nitpicks I had about it just wash away because that was amazing. I thought.
Nice.
All right, Max.
I mean, like everybody, the return to the Enterprise D was just heart-filling. It just made me so happy.
Y'all got punched in the face with nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. Right? Like, that felt fantastic. Seeing the team back together on the bridge. Silly as it might be, Data, Tokyo drifting the D through the board cube was just so much silly fun, and I know that doesn't work, but it's still so much fun. Yeah. Kind of some of the same reasons I love some of the sillier parts of Thor. Like it's still so much fun, but it's so many emotional highs for me. It overwhelms a lot of my nitpicks, like lighting and whatever. You guys know I hate darkly lit spaceships because there's so much power pumping through those ships, and you have advanced LED technology. Why are you not lighting things very brightly? But anyway, like the emotional payoff for everything was so good for me. There's some weird stuff like the magic cutoff of the age 25 for humans, being immune to that's not actually how it works, guys. But but good, fair enough. I think the emotional beauty of a lot of the high moments and payoffs from what we've been wondering about what's been happening with these characters over the years just felt so good, and just felt like, as you guys said earlier, just like a big warm hug. So yeah, I feel like this. I don't rewatch a lot of TV, with the exception of Farscape, but but I will definitely be rewatching these. Season 3. Probably to get through different winters and things like that. This was such a comforting and happy season for a lot of great reasons.
Also,
I apologize to jump in just because I gotta go, but I want you four to continue. So there will be 4 hosts.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But again, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it. It was very emotional, right? It was very emotional for me seeing all this. Again, it was like after 30 years seeing family that you haven't seen and loved so much. You know what I mean? So third season is really the season that matters for me. The first 2 weren't 10 out of 10s. This one was. Thank you guys very much.
Season.
Hell yeah, man.
Right, thanks, Jay.
Good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And everyone at Just Average Jay, everywhere on the internet. And you guys have fun without me, but don't have too much fun without me.
We won't.
Okay. Thanks, Jay.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy, man.
Uh,
Back on like the how much I don't rewatch stuff anymore. I may have watched that last episode at least. I'm gonna say at least 4 times.
As I said, it's at least 3 I can remember you telling me about. So yeah,
and like
sure.
one more today, and then like of watching that finale of like just the beats of like the Borg Queen saying "You're damaged and alone. I am not alone," and I just rewound and watched that over and over again, and seeing like the Enterprise escape. I just like. Yeah, I don't do that much anymore, but with this, I haven't like the last time I remember like rewatching a finale like that was like Return of the Jedi. So, goddamn.
Yeah, that works.
I agree.
I definitely think the emotional writing of this show is really good.
I
just have qualms with the plot writing.
Yep.
I got one qualm
that's
with
totally legit.
the Return of Moriarty.
They wasted
I think they did that. I think they did that in a very interesting way. Like, was it Moriarty? It was like Data's projection of Moriarty.
It was definitely a projection.
Yeah,
that was not Moriarty.
Which was too bad because initially I was like, actually, because Moriarty did develop sentience when he was on the Enterprise D, he would have been a really great choice for the defense network in general. So they revealed that it was Data, and then that was interesting. And it made sense, but also I was like, Moriarty himself would have been a great choice here.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to be the final villain. Like that. Now that's
that would have been very satisfying. Yeah,
that's a badass to fight against.
We talked about
he
this.
was putting a little cube.
Yeah, we did.
During the first 3 episodes,
I'm guessing like it's so like a lot of what I've been seeing in the show is how much people aren't on the same set at the same time. And I've just been seeing that a lot lately in modern entertainment. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. My buddy DJ is an actor out in Hollywood, and he does body double work, and he explained how it works. And now I see it all the time when it happens, such as like how the final
when Data's hugging himself and like the white hair in the back is like not quite him.
Or when Jack and the final boss changeling, Vadic, when those two were facing each other, they were never on the same set at the same time.
That's rough.
It just kind of sticks out now. And then like with Moriarty, I'm guessing like, dude's older and he's, more than earned his retirement. So I can guess that like he didn't have time to fly out and be exactly where everybody else is at the same time. But he did have one day to put on the costume and give us his all, and then say he's going home. So I get it.
If you're having that little lines, you don't want that actor to come back. You have to pay him every time. No, you're going to do it in one day.
So it's I'll let it go. But like it was in the trailer. They put in the trailer, and that got me thinking, "Oh shit, Moriarty!"
Yeah, I feel like maybe that was just a real powerful head fake, and it certainly worked on me because I got spinning that, like, okay, what are they actually doing? Like, is Moriarty going to be the big bad evil guy for this the season, or like, as he would make such a good puppet master? But we got changelings instead.
I loved how.
Well, you mean we got the Borg instead?
The Borg, yes, yeah. Thank you.
So,
the Borg.
I was gonna say to Void something you said last episode we talked about Picard was like how this kind of storytelling in Star Trek won't change minds. Like the asexual alien planet like can change the world and people's hearts. But then I was been thinking about that since then. I was like, okay, how about this? Like this is a series long movie, and like the best of the movies that maybe didn't change the world, but they gave us a good big theme. And while it didn't change any minds, it gave us a really good message about the importance of found family and that the past matters. So oh
my God, Keith.
Yeah.
First of all, love it. But second of all, well, thank you for giving me the initiative to go straight into one of the conversations I wanted to have with everybody, which was about the themes. Was family a theme? 1000%. You are so right. They said a lot about family. My issue is the themes are not actually clear because it is talking about found family and how like his family, Starfleet, and his family are the crewmates. But at the same time, it is saying that literally the people you are blood related to are the most important. So
we can have both.
Good family is good, bad family is bad is certainly a way to do it, but it's a very morally and ambiguous, kind of boring kind of thing to say about that.
How about not saying it, but we got to experience it. So
or it leaves you to make your own judgments about it.
Like if your family has good people in it, then it's a good family regardless of whether or not you're related to them. And if they suck, then they suck.
So how about so to me, once again, going back to what I see as a reply and rebuttal against The Last Jedi. There's like a behind the scenes thing where Carrie Fisher seemed like she was just trying to find things to say about the movie, and she's like, it's about family. And like in the movie, freaking Luke Skywalker is stalking his nephew in the night to kill him, and like there's just like not much going on that matters with family in The Last Jedi. Here they go all in. Like while like there's no like message, like you get nothing but the feels of like being reunited with people who feel like home to you. And I felt that was really well done and beautifully executed, and seeing like Geordi and Data together again and it mattering so much, and like just seeing like and also seeing Picard and Riker being brothers together again. It really hit me. And,
and it tore me up when they were at loggerheads, right? Like I'm like,
although that didn't last very long. They had one episode where they just like hated each other, and then they were like, "Will, we got to work together." And he's like, "All right," and then they were just back together.
I think they just wanted to do that. They're like, let's act at each other.
Yeah, the emotional writing is interesting, but the plot writing is like these things don't make sense together.
Agreed.
I think that's a fair summary. Yeah.
Anything else to say about the family theme, Michael? Do you got anything?
No, I mean, I liked the themes. I mean, I thought, because I kind of have like a chosen family myself, so I think that kind of struck chord with me. So
the fandom is our chosen extended family too, in general. Like, because whenever we see somebody else on the street that's like Star Trek, we're like, oh,
family.
We understand something about each other. Max?
I felt like it worked really well, except I don't know, at the end of things with the return to Raffi's family, like that was I don't know, that didn't go over well with me.
Easy, wasn't it? Worf just casually releases some classified information, and now her family loves her. We're great.
We are definitely doing the Return of the Jedi ending, where everyone gets a happy ending except for Ro. She might be alive. We don't know. Anyway,
and Shaw.
Yep, Shaw might still be alive. And Admiral Shelby, she did survive. Terry Matalis did say that.
Really? She got shot twice. Okay,
she got shot pretty hard.
She survived.
I mean, those weren't on stun. I'm just saying.
I've been mad because I'll take one loss, but don't just keep doing it. And like,
don't you take Shelby and Ro away from me?
Yeah, like even Shelby's like she's not that important to me, but if you're gonna bring her back after this much time, please just don't keep doing. But Terry Matalas did say Shelby's alive, so we're good.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody want to guess what the second theme I wrote down is?
Legacy?
Nope. It's something that gets brought up several times, and I personally disagreed with the way it was dealt with, but like that, fine. My other issue with the themes is like they're like, here are the themes, but they don't say anything specific about them, which annoys me because to me,
that's really frustrating.
Star Trek, that's kind of the point of Star Trek, is that like there are specific morals that they want to impart that they talk about. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, so what is your opinion about the theme? No guesses? It was brought up several times.
The past mattering?
By the Borg? No. It's evolution.
All right.
What do you mean, huh? Oh, you guys, they talked about it so much.
I'm trying to think because I remember like I was thinking about it today when the Borg Queen was going, we go from machines to be able to propagate and then annihilate. Is that like the kind of evolution?
Yeah. She literally says they're evolving. The changelings also. There was an evolution where they now have the ability to like hold solid all the way through. Do me a favor when you're going to rewatch Picard, because you already admitted to me that you're going to rewatch season 3 of Picard. Yep. Just write down every time somebody mentions evolution. Just do it for me, okay?
You're right. It's going to be a lot. Yeah.
If you want to do this homework at home, feel free. You can hit Michael up. Michael is running like a really nice Discord for Star Trek fans. You can find me in there. Just tag me, Voidcat. Just let me know. I want to hear what. Just trust me. Just rewatch it. Evolution.
I'll say the other theme that did matter though is that the past matters. Like once again, Last Jedi, let the past die, kill it if you have to, which was from the fucking bad guy. You shouldn't take that as a lesson. But here they kept on going over and over into like how much the people in their lives matter, that the Starfleet matters, that uniforms matter, and that the freaking Enterprise D matters. Like so much of like the past saved the future. And
let me continue you on that track.
Yeah, please.
The fact that they have a Klingon ship that they rescued from way back when it fell into the 1980s, like San Francisco Bay. If we didn't have that ship, then we wouldn't have had the cloaking device. And if we didn't have the cloaking device, the Titan would have been wiped out.
Cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
Versus The Last Jedi, which uses Luke Skywalker's. I'm sorry, the parallels
I'm banning you from talking about Star Wars on this podcast anymore. You've brought it up enough.
But the parallels are right. The writer is bringing it up. It's not me.
Okay, we're done now. Right. Stop.
Maybe. I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody at home. Keith did not like Star Wars.
I may have been a little upset. And
a little bit.
I'm just saying. The writer brought it up, not me. So Terry, stop.
Yeah. So that Borg line that you were just talking about, where she says, we're evolving, we're not just gonna assimilate, but annihilate.
Mm-hmm.
That's a specific plot point that I really hate because I used to role plays. James Kirk, I've talked about this before. And I did mirror universe stuff. And the thing that a lot of people would do in the mirror universe is they'd be like, haha, murder everyone. And I'm like, hold on, here's an issue. If you murder everyone on a ship that you're taking, then how are you going to bring the ship back to your fleet?
Right.
Who are you going to use to do your manual labor? If you wipe everybody out, there's nobody left. If the Borg annihilate everything, then what are they going to do after that?
Yeah, I hate it as a motivation because it's just being a bad guy for the pure just being bad for the sake of being bad. Like it's just
I hate when they're written like that.
I hate that as a motivation. Like we're so evil, we're gonna kill everyone, and then then what, idiots? Like
it's like what do you do when you're done?
Yeah,
exactly. And the line was so easy; they could have just replaced it with their own theme, not just assimilate, but evolve.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Done.
So the way I took the line, I was thinking about that even today. Like when she was like saying, and then annihilate. I was like, wait. What are you doing? Because this is That doesn't get you anything. That's not what the Borg do. So what I was thinking is that by annihilate, she means annihilate the other. Everyone becomes Borg, and the annihilation
their
of
way of
everyone,
life.
that there's nothing else besides us, besides Borg. So like
annihilate all of unassimilated.
Yeah, or like not kill them, but like as they're assimilated, they annihilate that what they once were.
That culture, everything that's inferior.
There you go. Annihilate
yeah.
all others, and then only think everything is Borg. So
actually, I had a question. It's been a while. But wasn't the Borg the whole thing that they used the technology to perfect the imperfections of biological beings?
Yes.
That is.
Then why are they trying to be more biological? Why? Explain this to me.
I saw a video not too long ago that does explain the nerfing that did kind of happen to the Borg, and that's because the Queen is not of the original Borg. She is from a species 127, and it seems like, since now she's the Queen, whatever she once was did change what the Borg were up to that point. So
okay, but if the way she was brought into the Borg collective is by getting all of the Borg cybernetic parts implanted, then that cybernetic superiority should continue.
Right? Was hers like a failed assimilation or something? Like why did?
They're saying that how that
although people have been complaining about the Borg Queen since the Borg Queen appeared, so
right. So like
we're not alone here.
We have queens now because of her species being that weird. So like, there was like that one lady who was so anguished that she shut down a cube in season 1 of Picard. So now,
quick question.
Yeah.
I thought Alison Pill was the Borg Queen.
She is of the Girardi collective.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
she's a splinter.
I didn't watch season 2. I don't know.
Yeah, there's this. They even said in season 3 they called it Girardi collective. So she.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So she was Borg, but she wasn't Borg. Okay,
they're something else.
Whatever.
A different branch of Borg. Yeah.
Yes.
It's.
Yeah.
One of my really petty complaints was that one of the times instead of saying "we are Borg," they said "we are the Borg," and I was like,
"Oh,
I know this is dumb, but
yeah."
Sorry, I have some stupid shit
that's
about.
No, please complain. I love this show, and I want to be honest about it. So we should wag our finger at any kind of like flaw that it has, because I'm okay with it having flaws, because the final outcome was so good.
I just think it's silly because like they even did it right some of the time. It's just like there was one time where they didn't, and I was like, but you guys, you wrote the script, just write it the same way. All the whatever. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just like that. Just feels like an editing error to me. Like somebody should have caught that.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I got? Stop calling people legends. Oh, another thing I was right about. The nebula was alive. That was a bit I really loved when it like exploded into like a bunch of
space squids.
That was delightful. That's pure Star Trek. That was a Star Trek moment.
Yes,
I loved that.
Yeah, I always love space sea creatures. Like everything from like Moyother Leviathan to those like space raviolis that were in the season 1 of Star Trek.
Yeah, that like latched onto the ship.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that were feeding off the energy, and they had to like.
I think it was an amoeba. No.
Loved it. Yeah.
Space ravioli. Like, immediately, what you said comes to mind. Like, oh yeah.
No,
I think that
they
was
always make me happy.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite bits. I forgot about that. Delightful. I love that.
And like, I almost feel like the space squids, to me, was a callback to the very first episode where they found space squids.
Yeah.
Or jellyfish.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Farpoint Station. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I've been taking notes since the last episode, and we were like just kind of flew through like all of them with so much excitement, like and this. So,
okay. Do you want me to go through a bunch of petty complaints then?
Please.
Yes.
I would love a list of petty complaints.
Just, I mean, I would love if you joined my list of petty complaints with some petty complaints of your
I'll
own.
subscribe. Yeah.
Let's see. I really like Shaw's acting, even if the character sucks, was one of my notes. I thought it was weird that Rafi had a handler who also turned out to need a handler. Typically, that's not how you do it. You don't have a chain of handlers. It's just like,
Too many handlers. Yeah.
All right. It's because they wanted to do the stack up to Ro, which.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, because Ro was Worf's handler, who was Laren's handler. Laren is Ro. What are the words coming out of my mouth? I don't know. Rafi's handler. I literally wrote, "Hey, fuck you for killing Ro."
Yeah. Accurate.
I think I have a similar.
Sorry about this
damn
weird
it.
sound in the background. Go on.
I was say like I had a similar note of being mad about killing Ro, but we already covered that, and I said everything I need on that one.
Okay, I have. Can we stop calling people legends?
I can't.
You don't agree with that one. It's okay, fine.
Nope.
Not in regard to Picard.
Not in the final season. Like we're all doing the victory dance together. Like that guy's a legend. That guy's a legend. But I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
We should have moved on like we used to. Back when it was okay to have new seasons of Star Trek.
Yeah. These, you should be. Everyone should be a legend. If they're to that level in Starfleet command structure, like. Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
Only the ones we know about in the TV show are allowed to be legends.
Right.
I thought it was really weird that they gave the triple teeth. I'm like, the joke about the Klingon being afraid of the tribbles is that they're literally just a little ball of fur. And it's utterly silly that the Klingons would be afraid of this tiny little creature. So giving it horrible teeth was like... But now it makes sense that the Klingons don't like them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that was necessary.
Something
I just wanted to have tribbles as a reference, yeah.
Another thing I loved was so in like season 1, I think, of Picard, Data brings up The Last Jedi, how he didn't like the movie. Oh, okay, I'm kidding. In season 1 of Picard, like they make way too big a deal about Picard's love for Data, which wasn't that much in the show. It was Data and Geordi that were the team. So I really love that, like, we got to have a scene where Geordi really expressed his pain at losing Data. Like, that's really the main person we should have seen be destroyed by hearing about Data's death.
1000%. I totally agree with you there.
So glad that they pay attention to the fandom and things that we need emotionally. So I appreciate they did that.
I'm with you. I have Borg DNA ? Since the entire thing of the Borg is that they assimilate everybody using technology and that they all have different DNA since they're different species, that was incredibly hilarious to me.
Borg DNA,
Yeah. I didn't love that part.
The fact that you have a person just like tormenting and torturing changelings, and that they made a cure and then the people voted not to give it for us. Again, why Starfleet evil? What's going on here? I wrote the concept of evolution I intrinsically disagree with, but I didn't actually write the quote, so I can't tell you my details about that anymore. I just remember they brought up evolution a couple times and I was like, that's not what it is. Like, there's a tendency for people to think of evolution as like becoming the best form, but it's not. It's just molding to whatever the environment is. There's not an end goal. You're not more pure and amazing and good because you've evolved more.
Right. You're better fit to survive in the current environment.
1000%. I was very confused by helmsman LaForge pointing a gun at Jack because he was in her head after he just saved her life.
Yeah, I hate that. I can't trust you anymore, even though you just saved my life several times.
I got real mad when Seven was like, I did not blow up the turbo lift because there were people in it, and I refused to do that. And he was like, we don't have the luxury to do that. I was like, excuse me, you are Starfleet. You will do everything possible to save lives. I disagree.
Something I noticed that was a little strange, that there seems to be no standard issue phaser. Like, from like character to character to character, all in Starfleet, and like it would be happen so often that they're like all using different phasers, and just like what? And then
I'm gonna look for that when I rewatch. Yeah,
and like I have my I think my favorite phaser is from TOS. I have mine with me right now. I love the look of this thing, and Jack has one. I'm like, why? Like,
it was weird.
I really wish like I could get like a tiny bit of a story as to why you have one, because my my Star Trek Online character also used this as his favorite sidearm. But just if it's happening a little bit, like I care. Please just say a little bit line of why you have this and why they're different. I guess there's no way they'd spend time saying, just so you know, Keith, for so years ago. just I want to know about the guns. That's what I know.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of guns, Worf's little hidden phaser, that was cute.
You've had a phaser the whole time?
Swords are fun.
Cool. was it swords are more fun or swords?
Swords are more fun.
They're fun.
Just being like,
yeah,
Worf. Yes.
I really do love the way Worf is written in this. This is ridiculous. Like, just beautiful. Well done on Worf.
Yes. Yes.
An evacuation hatch on the bridge. Okay, that's a plot point that did make sense. Also, like, I understand. Hey, sometimes we need to evacuate our most important officers. Then you put an escape pod, not a random door that opens up and whooshes everybody out. That is on the bridge. That's how you kill people.
That's bad ship design. Fully agree.
Very bad ship design.
And also, if you want to nitpick,
yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Changelings can survive in space.
Yep.
They can transform into spacefaring animals and fly. And
also, like, she shattered, and I expected that, like, because her bits were all small and they showed the reverting earlier, that she would become liquid again. But no. Just frozen, I guess.
Gotta clear the mini boss.
That didn't fly with me.
There was a really funny bit where they figured out what was going on with Jack, and they were like, as of this moment, your son is dangerous. As opposed to all the other moments before. He was not dangerous until this very moment, you guys.
Constantly dangerous. Yes.
Although, when he went Borg and somebody went, Jack, what is this? And he went futility. God, that was a good line. That impressed me. Well done. Shuttles have warp now. How did his shuttle go to warp, you guys?
We've had that since
DS9. Shuttles with warp.
And the Runabout was the first one to
I just forgot that.
So they do seem to be having technology advance in Star Trek, so that maybe everybody can now have warps. And
warp for everybody.
Yeah, and now you don't have to leave a star system either to go into warp because they keep breaking rules.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Admiral Shelley was doing the speech about how they've all gone into synchronized stuff, and I was like, yo, that's exactly what the Borg are. You guys know that's exactly what the Borg are, right? Why is she saying this positively? And then it cuts to one of the characters saying the exact same thing, and I was like, well, I guess at least you realize it, you guys.
When has this ever been a good thing in science fiction to do this? Ever.
No. At no point has that turned out well. And what did Shelby? I was like, why is Shelby of all people playing this out like it's a good thing? Like what?
Yep. There's a bit where Picard calls all of his buddies to meet him on the maintenance deck. I love that he can tap his thing and it just knows who to send it to, because apparently none of the affected officers heard that message.
Yeah.
You just have to tap it in the right spot and it goes to whoever you want.
He's got a dedicated chat room for his
exactly.
Dedicated chat.
Private IRC.
Go to Picard's Discord channel. Yeah.
Apparently the Enterprise D did not need that whole crew that whole time, because 8 people is enough to run the ship.
That's been a thing. Ever since I remember
there was some throwaway line Geordi had that he had tuned it so that they could fly it with minimal crew or something like that.
And I remember
who's loading the torpedoes? Bots.
Yeah.
It was Dr. Crusher in a TNG episode. I'm positive she took over the entire ship. She was running the entire ship by herself.
Yeah.
She did. That's right.
Sure, when she went to the static warp bubble. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's hecking wild. I'm like, why do we even have crews? What are we doing?
I've always thought that was kind of interesting, and I did kind of wonder.
Like, it wasn't running at high efficiency. but she was able to operate enough to keep things running.
Yeah, I've always thought that was like a thing with like Starfleet ships. Like, you have a city
just in case.
ship, but yeah, you can always run with one person, just so you know. It can
if
work.
it comes to it.
Well, a lot of people could be there for research, and I think over time they would need people to keep up with maintenance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just in case everyone's sleepy, we made it. We could just run it on a single person.
Just in case everyone's sleepy. It was nice hearing Walter Koenig's voice.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very much. Yeah.
Chekhov, how did you get to be president?
What?
His great grandson.
Yep.
Oh, okay. He said he did say if my father were here at some point, and I was like, okay, which Chekhov is this?
I would say grandson.
The portable beam me up. That's an interesting concept. Just shoot people with, and it'll automatically just beam them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's one of the things where I'm like, that's too far of a leap of technology. Like
I agree with you there.
We're not there. That would be like Starfleet 1,000 years in the future. Not, it's too much. Too much.
You've tagged them with a neutrino signature that the teleporter can easily pick up. Is what it is.
Yeah, the role player in me is like, that's a wonderful way to screw with people, but like, it's it just felt out of sync with the rest of the tech level.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Terry Matalas saying how you want to believe that your hero's adventures go on. So that he was talking about how, being put on the spot of like maybe killing some of the characters and whatnot. And he's like, no, this is not what we're here for. Like the ending of like Nemesis was just like a downer. And last time I see my heroes, I want to know that, all right. And then like they go into the sunset. Maybe they have more adventures. Maybe they chill out, but it's up to me to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to bring up something else that, didn't
let
me do that. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Sure.
One last thing that I do have a sort of complaint.
Okay.
Wesley should have been there.
He absolutely should have been there.
Space took him. He's a traveler now.
He is of the OG crew. I don't care who people say. People like who's saying "Shut up, Wesley." He was part of the OG. Like he should have been there.
I wonder why they didn't include him.
And same with, darn it. Same with O'Brien. Like where we should have had O'Brien.
Where's Colm?
Exactly.
Come back.
What's it? The actor who plays Wesley, of course,
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. He said that
the internet's favorite son.
He said that as a result of becoming the Traveler, you can no longer interact with your loved ones. So that's like a rule. Is why he said Wesley didn't show up again.
We're very good at following rules in Starfleet. So
yeah, and in this Starfleet in particular. I did think it was cute that they put Jack in like Locutus's outfit, like same outfit.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't notice.
That was well done.
Cool.
I love the.
You did notice
at the end.
Like all Borg look the same to me.
It's racist.
There's an interview somewhere where they talk about the ship that Nero, I forgot his name. Nero has in Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek 2008.
Right. Yeah.
Where they talk about the ship design, and they were like, "What is more terrifying coming right at you than just like a bunch of pointy knives?"
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me of the way that they kind of like had the Borg cube. Instead of just having a classic Borg cube, they had a Borg cube with a bunch of like antennae sticking out of it. And when they first approach it, and it's like inside Jupiter, that was like that same image of like a bunch of knives coming out at you.
Right. A gnarly
different greebles and everything. Yep.
I don't necessarily think that you needed to redesign the Borg cube, but if you wanted to make it look threatening, I think that was a good way to do.
Mm-hmm.
They have evolved into a spookier design.
I had some frustrations with the way that the Borg functioned in this narrative. When they were taken over, like there's a bit where they're like, "Oh, we got to go fast. We got to get disconnected before they know we took the ship back." And she's like, "Oh, somehow." And it's like a joke about how like it's going to be hard for them to do it quickly. But They should already know. They're all connected.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
They're highly deteriorated and
Nope.
No,
They're literally
didn't work
piloting
with the
all the
story,
ships
so
at the
they-
same
that's why
time.
three cable.
They had already shown us pulling a ship out and shooting it. Like, that didn't. You guys, be consistent with. This is the one thing. The one thing that really throws me out of any TV show, book series, whatever. You lay down a rule and then you break that same rule. Like, your universe has to be consistent, or I can't believe in it.
I
so
fully
sorry.
agree.
It's like I'm more forgiving of a show like Star Wars because it's a fantasy. This is like at least soft science. Like, you can ignore real science in many places, but like be consistent within your own world, please. I'm asking you.
I guess did they say so specifically that this was in this series? Did they say it out loud that this is a rule that couldn't be broken?
What all the Borg are communicating simultaneously. That's what the Borg are.
It's a collective.
In that same vein, there were like bits where they were on the bridge and the scared ensign, was sitting in the captain's chair and was like giving orders and like, but they all know the order. You're all getting the order at the same time. Jack's setting the order.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like a cool way to film it, like the way that they wanted, where like they turned their head and like one would say the one line and then the next one would say the other line, but like you don't give orders. You all have the same orders.
Right.
Can't argue.
It wouldn't play as well though, on TV.
Right. Here's a really this is a very me specific complaint. Jack's roots. First of all, hilariously, like, did you guys steal that from Stranger Things, that image? Like the same kind of like bloody roots. But
oh yeah.
They talk about the flowers and the roots, and they're like, what's interesting about these roots is they're all interconnected. I have a very specific pet peeve, which is when people conflate fungi and plants. They're two separate kingdoms. Fungi are as different from plants as animals are. Can we stop pretending they're the same thing? And if you're going to have interconnected roots, why not have it be a fungus? That's literally what fungi are.
Just saw like a science video saying.
I know this is childish, but god damn it.
Sabine Hassenfelder, she made a video about how, just so you know, trees do not connect like fungus. Two separate things, just so you know.
That's a fungus. Although there's a thing with aspens, but never mind.
As a plant casual, though, I would not have known this, and I would not have questioned it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because everything, like Dungeons and Dragons does this too, where they're like, you're a master of plants, and they're like, actually, this is the circle of mushrooms, but it's exactly the same. I'm like, mushrooms are not plants. They're fungi.
Deep nerd plant cut.
Sorry.
One other complaint. So the Enterprise is escaping from the exploding Borg cube and sails
that was
away.
A Star Wars scene, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. If you want to bring that up, it's just much like the Millennium Falcon. But I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't going to bring that up.
I mean, not the prequel, Tridge. No. You're not allowed to bring up the sequel series. You can bring up the rest. It's fine.
I wasn't even going to say Star Wars, sort of, this time. I was just saying that, like, as it's sailing away from the Borg cube, I'm waiting for a final "ba-damn" explosion of the cube that never happened. It was it just kind of softly blossomed and exploded. Where I was waiting for like the Enterprise to fly past my screen, and then I look back at the cube and it gives me one last boom, bam. That didn't happen.
They ran out of money for that shot.
So I have a huge problem with the final explosion. They could have went harder on that. So that was a little bit of disappointment.
Fair.
Yeah.
I didn't like Stardate, shall we say? One. I'm like, are you restarting the calendar because of this? Come on, man.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, that was not.
Not on board.
They've had Earth threats before. They didn't restart the calendar. So maybe they're like, metaphorically in my soul. It's
Riker's like, shall we say Stardate 1? And then like he gets a call from one of the admirals that's like, hey, my data clerk is complaining. I need you to like fix this and actually tell me what date this log took place on.
I like the Star Wars reference that Riker did. When he goes, "I'll see you in the next life," Imzadi was straight up Luke Skywalker saying, "Leia, hear me," and then like it was like edited the same way,
yeah.
and then like Troy looks up just like Leia looked up, and I know where he is, and the Millennium Falcon and in my head the Enterprise D both turn around to go for the final save. Oh, God bless this show.
I already had a big complaint about the special counselor to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
What track are you on, buddy? And then they made this huge deal about like, oh, what phrase are you gonna use? 7? And then cut it off. I was like, you assholes. You just
that was
think of
very
what to
Marvel.
write.
Yeah, they'll save that for Star Trek Legacy.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that's very Marvel, because that's how I feel about the Q scene as well, as it's like the Marvel movie after credits, second after credits scene.
Because I know that I know Fantastic Four they did exactly that, where they're like, so what should we call ourselves? And just before you speak, cut to the credits. So
the weird
I thought it was cute. I would like to wait to find out what she says for her launch. Did we all go around the table and say what we would say? Did we do that already?
No,
We haven't done that. No. Do
I
you
was
want
thinking about
to?
that this morning when I had watched Strange New Worlds this morning, and that made me think of this again. So
I know what mine is. I would say rocket, which is like rock and IT, or it sounds like I'm saying the word rocket.
Yeah, I figure that's what the dual meanings.
Yes.
as native
Rocket!
English
Rocket!
speakers, we sort of that.
Do you guys what will your guys' be?
I'd say giddy up.
Ooh, not bad at all.
Yep, I think I had been struggling with this one for years, and I don't like any of mine. And I think the best I've gotten for me is "Let's Get It." But
what's the worst?
It
can't be worse than what Spock said.
I would like the ship to go now.
I would like to go fast now.
I think it's just. I think mine was "Let's." My like generic one was "Let's Roll," but I don't.
Let's roll. I
love
like
that
it
either.
Yeah.
Like transform and roll out. I don't know. It's just very like there's no wheels on that ship. Like come
it's
on.
not easy.
I think engage is peak, frankly.
Yeah.
Engage is peak.
I mean, I would probably say hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, hit it is good.
Yeah.
Punch it. Like
let's do it. Let's.
You want to say punch it for when like when it's like a we gotta go fast. Let's go fast, rather than just like engage is like every time. All
punch
right,
it
engage.
is high impulse engines get us out of here.
Yeah. We gotta go. We're gonna get shot. Punch it.
Since like in Picard, you can now choose whatever your phaser is. What would your chosen sidearm phaser be, Michael?
Does that include the phaser rifles?
I think it should. Yeah.
I like the phaser rifles like they had in
First Contact.
Yeah, exactly. First Contact.
Yeah, that was a really good phaser rifle.
That was good.
Max.
You know me. I'm not a gun guy. I like none of the phasers really jive with me. My favorite Trek weapon has been Worf's new sword, and that was in Picard.
I mean, there was that, so it counts as your phaser.
It's true. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, cool. All right,
I'll just
get it.
I'll take Worf's.
Excellent choice, Max.
Worf's new sword.
Perfect. And Woodcat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with phaser version 1. When I was a kid, I had a TNG phaser, and if you click on the button, it makes the sound. And there's two like push buttons that are like they stay down, that you can either make the stun sound or the kill sound.
Oh, I like that.
I was a jerk as a kid to my siblings, because that's how siblings are.
Right.
And I used to play with it a lot. And then my little brother, who's like 4 years younger than me, also wanted to play with it. And sometimes I would push the two buttons so they were exactly the same. Because if you did that, when you push the like go button, it doesn't know which one it is. So it doesn't make any sound. So I'd push them so they were exactly the same, give it to him, and then tell him he broke it. Sorry, hon.
Awesome. Phaser version 1 is, so that's your favorite.
That's the handheld.
Looks like a remote control.
It's like a mouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I always liked how much I quote unquote dislike it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. I like it's not a gun whatsoever. It's
exactly.
like
It looks so not ergonomic for fighting. But
yep, I was like, oh man, of
But
course, they stop using
it's
guns.
definitely like
in the
fighting
future.
is the last thing they do.
Yep.
I know, but if
After
you have
do everything else, fighting is the last thing you do. Okay, I know the best phaser is actually the one like that you can hold in your hand and point like a gun. I know it is, but I just don't care.
I just always assumed that Type 1 had like some sort of self-targeting feature because there's no other way you could aim with that thing.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And the phaser would always
psychic.
bend when it shoots.
It's just like you're like, I want you to aim here, and it's like, okay. We went through our list of complaints. Does anybody else want to add like a little petty complaints in there?
I think I whined a little bit about this, but the age cutoff for the Borg DNA
25.
effect,
That was weird.
I was like, come on, guys. Like,
I feel the way about that the exact same way I feel about whenever anybody talks about how you only use like 10% of your brain. I'm like,
Yes,
that's not
thank
true.
you.
Can we
Thank
stop
you.
repeating that, please?
thank you for being
Wondering
smart.
If he was doing
Oh, you're welcome,
some,
Max.
I thought he was doing kind of meta commentary on like the division of old fans versus young fans. I was kind of wondering that.
I really hecking hope not. That's horrifying.
That would be
Yes.
that would be
Are you doing that?
uncharacteristically mean, and I don't want that. But
Yes.
that does make
They're
me
all
chuckle a
hive
little
mind
bit.
now. Those dang kids. Like
Those dang kids.
With their Instagrams and their TikToks.
Yeah.
They're all being controlled. It's up to this old folk to save them. All right.
Goodness.
Do you guys want to talk about the final scene? Not the
which
final scene, but the one where they're playing.
The final scene that made us happy.
The one
yes.
when they're at the bar and then they play not poker.
The other one that made me tear up. Yeah.
Picard can finally join them because he never could when he was captain.
Except for the last episode of TNG.
Except for the last episode of TNG.
For the last episode.
That this was referencing in the last episode of Picard. Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? What was your best part? I mean, obviously, I know you all liked it. Even I liked it. So, like, whatever. We don't have to talk about that. What was your favorite bit?
How much it felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Like, watching again today,
Really
like,
pulled you in.
yeah,
Among
it's
friends.
like, yeah. It felt like we were at the bar with, like, after like a reunion, and you're just with your old high school buddies again, and you're just like going over memories and love and stuff. It's just, God, yeah, I love seeing. I'm glad we got this. I'm so glad we got to see this one last time.
Yeah, there's a very satisfying, like just heartwarming wrap to it. That was an excellent close and an excellent callback. Just felt good. Just guidance there, everything. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, well, that scene in the final episode, All Good Things, when they were sitting around playing poker, that's one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Trek, and I have a picture of it, mounted on my wall. So I love that being the ending for Star Trek Picard.
Signatures on that picture?
No.
You should make a copy of it and then get all the signatures on it and then frame that one. Also.
Have you guys' minds changed on Beverly keeping Jack a secret from Picard? Because
no plot point.
Okay, all right, but still, I'm just saying that 5 minutes after she finally introduces him to Picard, he becomes the centerpiece of a galaxy-destroying monster. So
no, incorrect. It was already the
she's
centerpiece of the galaxy-destroying monster. They were already being pursued by Vadic.
I've been outmaneuvered. Damn.
Womp.
I had this written down.
Noble effort, Keith.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I broke it so fast.
All right.
I admire you, Keith.
Felt good about that one. I think in a way, if you look at it from a different angle, I might be right a little bit in a certain way, though.
Okay. I'm sure that's true.
Yeah.
Just not that particular angle that you tried just there.
Yeah. Another angle.
I'm going to sit back down.
I'll think of later.
Ross. Oh, goodness.
Still.
Anybody want to be more specific about a part they really liked? Maybe the time when Picard just fleeced everyone out of their money. I win. Beat the pants off everyone, Keith. Or was that Data?
Maybe it beat everyone. What?
In the poker game at the end, or
yeah, who won?
The last scene shot was like just everybody playing, but there was a shot of Picard holding up an ace of spades for some reason. And everybody went, "Oh!" so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Somehow, like they knew which game he wanted to play when he held up the Ace of Spades. I think that was telling them which game they were playing. I meant after that, but it's fine.
I am rubbish at poker, so I don't actually know.
They weren't actually playing poker. They were playing like an imagined sci-fi game, I think.
It's space poker. Okay.
Yeah, it was space poker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
I love there's like a genuine love of like loving spaceships moment.
Yeah.
Where they're pulling up on the museum and saying what their favorite ships were. And I loved how Jack like kind of spoke from my voice at like the love of the refit Enterprise, and that meant a lot to me. It just hit so genuinely and not like
The 1701 is my favorite.
Is that the TOS?
Yeah.
Warming up to that one.
That's why I was mad about the A. I was like, what is that A doing on there? Get it off.
Yeah, and then like isn't that supposed to be the refit? Like,
yeah, I know.
Okay, I'll let it go though. I don't care. Like, let it happen.
I should let it go.
I don't know. For me, I'm like, I've been thinking about that. I was like, wait, those are the. Oh, you know what? No, I don't care. I like seeing. I want to see them both. I'm good. There. I'll come up with whatever excuse I want to that they're both there.
Did any of you look up what the quote Picard was doing at the end was?
No.
Now I'm gonna. Thank you.
Don't look it up right now because I want to ask you, and I think you can guess. What do you think that's from?
What do you say? I'm forgetting.
What was this quote? Yeah.
Let me find it again. There's like an article about it, but is it actually in here? No. There's a tide in the affairs of men which takes at the flood, leans on fortune. I've come to believe that the stars have always been in my favor, he says.
That
I want you guys to guess.
Oh,
I would say Shakespeare.
That is Shakespeare. I don't know which.
Correct.
From what.
It is Shakespeare, and I'm delighted since this was written very specifically for, Stuart,
a Shakespearean actor,
who was famously a Shakespearean actor who got pulled into being captain. Who was like, "What, really?" that his last lines were from Shakespeare. And it's Julius Caesar, by the way.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I didn't expect you to guess the play.
Yeah.
Has he been in Julius Caesar?
I think he was.
I think so.
Let me look that up. I seem to remember reading that.
Has Patrick Stewart been in Julius Caesar? That seems very likely.
Almost a final scene with Data with Soji, but he decided that he wanted to be final with Troy and make some jokes instead, which I'm good with. Like, yeah, when it's the final shots of all these people, I want to see the OGs. That the last scenes would be with the OGs together. So
yeah, I mean, that's why you were there for that show.
Okay, I did look it up. In the 1972 production by the Royal Shakespeare Company, Patrick Stewart played Cassius in Julius Caesar.
Oh, he played Cassius. Damn.
Picard was Patrick Stewart was intentionally trying to make hit Terry Metalis in his feels when there was like Picard there was like at the final they're at the board cube and Picard's talking to Riker and Picard almost breaks down into tears when he says it means so much to me. Like he felt so good about how hard he nailed that line, and he looked over to Terry and Terry was like yeah. Go Patrick Stewart. God bless you.
Oh, yeah.
That guy is a treasure.
I mean, they're genuinely good friends.
It still strikes me as just wonderfully weird how they managed to assemble such good people who almost to the last of the core cast of just like excellent human beings who are also such, and of course, being excellent human beings, they're all such good friends as well. Like, that's just warms my heart every time I reflect on it. Like, it's just, and that's why getting this last season right was so, felt so important to me. Like, I really wanted it because I love these people as human beings.
I was so worried they were going to fuck it up, but they did not. So I'm happy.
Oh, man, I got my popcorn ready for the fuck up that I thought was
Your
coming.
hater pants, you mean?
Yep. Put on my hater pants.
It's like,
tied my hater shoes.
Hater pants.
It's like, let's do this. I was waiting for them to emasculate the hell out of Worf. Especially when they're saying he's gonna be a pacifist. But man,
no, he's gonna pass the
yeah, correct. He's like, I prefer to be a pacifist, but if I must fight, I will beat the shit out of everyone here.
Exactly.
I also love the moment where Rafi fights and then he comes out and he's like, you're pulling on this side. She's like, what? No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. And the other two are like, what? Why are you fighting with swords? We have phasers. This is a phaser fight.
Swords are fun.
Oh, I just remembered another complaint I had. I'm so sorry. Were they Hirogen? Hirogen with the changeling? Because there was nothing about Tetrasolid White. They had masks on the whole time. I have no idea what those guys were.
No, they were the Jem'Hadar.
Oh, they were Jem'Hadar. Yeah, why don't they have catchers? Whatever, it's not important. The thing that I'm complaining about is that they had phasers and they were murdering everybody on the ship, and then Rafi shows up. Or no, somebody else shows up at some point with guns, and they just like suddenly didn't have weapons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just being shot, I guess. I'm like,
yeah.
Conveniently no longer weaponed.
It seems like a branch of. It's always a good thing the bad guys are willing to take prisoners.
Yeah, exactly. Or they tell you your plan right before they kill you, their master plan, and you get away.
And they tell you master plan, give you lots of moments to think about it and linger. And, oh man, you got away! Damn it!
I wish I hadn't told my plan.
How did that happen again?
Yeah. So overall, my feelings about Picard are very mixed. Like I said, I think the heartfelt bits very strong. The plot, not so strong. So. Unfortunately, I like thinking hard about my Star Trek, and I'm sad that the Star Trek is inviting me to not think all that hard, actually. But
yeah, that's fair.
If you're chill with turning off your brain and having a great like ride, basically, if you're cool with Data drifting the Enterprise, you'll have a good time. And if you're like, what is that? Then maybe you won't.
Jupiter.
I totally get you, and like where they drop the ball on verisimilitude, where things just like don't make sense with what we know, like that usually bothers the hell out of me. But I don't know. I don't know if this is like a post-pandemic like whatever, but like I feel like this was almost like an emotional back rub where like this is something that just felt good. And
it wasn't supposed to make you think.
And
really.
It's like the kind of, you're right. The best of Trek is internally consistent. It's written well, scientifically, or at least scientifically within the universe, where everything jives. But it also carries that emotional weight. And so, yeah, they nailed the emotional weight, and they did it so well that I think for most of us, it kind of switched off the nitpick meter until we could look afterwards. Where it's that fridge moment where you're like, hey, wait a minute, but it just felt so good to feel, to kind of put ourselves into the feelings of our favorite characters. That it just got nailed with a nostalgia bomb, and so the emotional writing I think carried it.
Yeah, and like also like gear shifting into movie mode, which is like the movies never really, well, I don't think they went hard on like thoughtful or even their own internal world consistency. In these modes, it's more like going on an adventure with great friends, and then like I did get lots of genuine like reminders of like found family or how you survive trauma with the loved ones you have around you. So like I feel like they hit hard on like the sincere moments that I need to feel, and I've waited a lifetime to see this. So I'm willing to let go of a lot, but I don't feel like I had to turn my head too many times on like flubs. I do feel it was well written for the final fun spectacle adventure that we got.
Do you obviously appreciate Starfleet is my family.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Now that I've been watching TOS more, every episode I see more and more of why you're mad. Because like how they really go hard on how much humanity has matured, and that Starfleet is the ideal, that is a great thing to live up to, that makes the entire galaxy a better place. And Red Letter Media said it best, because like now that I'm seeing this and then like the new stuff, Red Letter Media said like the original Star Trek was like an old man in his basement, and like he's meticulously made his like this train set. It's a beautiful set of like beautiful places and things, and all well cared for and built and stuff. And then once he's gone, the kids come downstairs and just rough house all over it, and like, woo, we don't want to be boring. Let's party, and then that's what New Trek has kind of turned into being, and then like disrespecting a lot of the beautiful, clean things that were made. So I get you. So yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you kept on pushing on the TOS, because I've been wanting to give it a final real go, and I'm warming up to it more and more. The biggest thing I've noticed that's great about it is Bones, Spock, and Kirk. Seeing them together in a scene is so much fun. That I've been kind of wondering, like, has this been tried to be ripped off? Like, I was trying to like throw all those Star Treks. I'm like, so who else got to do this? I can't remember anyone who's a trio that's been this good, almost in science fiction.
Yeah. Me neither. There's a reason I love them so much. Like, catch me watching TOS just because they, that nostalgia bomb that you guys were talking about watching the end of this. Which is why I'm so afraid of looking at Strange New Worlds, by the way, because they keep being like, we'll bring in Kirk now. And now Kirk and Spock are both on here. And I'm like, well, okay, first of all, what's going on with Kirk's relationship with Bones? Because they knew each other a long time. And secondly, like, I keep hearing about how they're changing the canon. And I'm like, guys are scaring me.
I'm sorry, Mike. I know you. I think you're loving the new season, right?
I know you said to watch
the first episode.
I didn't have time, unfortunately.
You've only had the first episode out, but yeah, I liked it.
I too enjoyed it.
I did not. What was funny? What was funny about disliking it was me getting mad at like the first thing that I didn't like was them twisting the story to make it so that Spock has to steal the Enterprise again. It has to steal the Enterprise at all to go on a good mission to do something important. I was like, man, Spock wouldn't steal a ship like that. I'm gonna watch some TOS right now, and I'm gonna watch the Menagerie. And, and then like the Menagerie starts right away with Spock stealing the Enterprise.
Keith. Okay, well, first of all, there's an interesting bit with that where they're like replicating the Menagerie, and then like they're like, Spock was so different in the Menagerie, so we're trying to decide how he got from there to where he is in TOS. But like the whole thing with the Menagerie is that it was the unaired pilot, and they didn't go with that. So like it's kind of weird to do it like that. But whatever, forget that. He does kind of do it in a mock time though. So.
He did it again.
It was the pilot, and then they used the footage for later episodes because they're saving money. But to be fair,
sorry, I gotta correct that real quick. So, in the Menagerie parts 1 and 2, this is not the pilot. That's the repurposed one, and it's like him after being with Pike in that story that he's stealing the Enterprise and then referencing the first episode. So,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah. But he's a stealer.
Yeah, so he does steal it in a mock time as well.
So he steals it another time. So okay.
To be fair, in a mock time, he's undergoing a blood fever because he hit his Ponfar. Okay. So he's a little loopy. He is. It's like it's the fuck or die episode. So
can't say the same.
But right? In the Menagerie.
Also, isn't it amazing that back in like the late 60s when they had like all of these different rules about what you could and couldn't have on TV, they had never had like an interracial kiss in America at this point. And they were like, you know what? Let's have a fuck or die episode.
Dude, like the TOS loves its sexy time.
It sure does.
Eye-popping degrees. Like the outfits I see in that show, I'm like, whoa!
Oh my god, they're insane. Yeah, I know.
And Human Rand, oh my god, my crush on her is growing. I love her. I think.
Yeah, Human Rand is pretty amazing.
And is she the mother of?
No.
Okay. So yeah, who's the woman in?
Carol? She's not in TOS.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Bummer.
There's a lot of points made about Kirk being a misogynist in like our current era, and he's not at all. And I will happily have a lengthy discussion with anybody about that. But
no, he's upstanding as hell.
He's upstanding as hell. All of his like past lovers, he's like, I still respect the shit out of them. They're super smart women, and holy shit. So Carol makes perfect sense with like the history that they built for him. Where you're just like, intelligent woman, hello.
Also,
I would like to romance you.
I'm seeing him be a fantastic actor too. Like all of my life, the giant joke has been that William Shatner is a bad actor, and
his acting is exaggerated, but bad is different.
Sure.
He hits a great tone.
Oh, actually, back on Picard, that's an interesting point about Vadik for me, is that I think her performance was very interesting and very Star Trek, but did not fit Picard as well. Because, like, bombastic, overbearing, kind of ridiculous villains,
yes,
that's Star Trek through and through. Watch Wrath of Khan again. Like, she fits definitely. Right, she would fit right in with Wrath of Khan style Star Trek.
Yeah, I was not a fan of her doing
it was like a little too exaggerated for the way that Star Trek Picard is. Oh. If it was original Star Trek, it would have been like perfect. Just the right level of like a little too much, you know?
More TOS love in one of the first episodes we ever recorded. Because for me, the TOS crew is the movie Star Trek. That is the peak Star Trek.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we did a review on like the first movie, and Spock comes back to the ship. Everybody's acting like, why is he acting so weird and distant? I was like, that's how Spock is. Leave him alone. And then you said, no, that's not how he is, Keith. And I'm seeing Spock smirking and hidden smiles and joking. So,
oh my God, the way that him and Bones will bicker at each other to make Kirk laugh is like ridiculous. Like, dude, that shit's deliberate.
They are sharp at each other. And yeah, like it's funny, cheeky Spock. I don't know if I've known him to be like that.
Now you do, Keith. Now you do.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
I'm so glad you're watching TOS. That makes me very happy.
Yep. I'm in for the full run because just want the full Star Trek experience.
Let me know when you hit Edge of Tomorrow. That's my favorite.
Ooh. Looking forward to it. I'm just in season 1. I skipped ahead so I could watch more Pike episodes so that I could maybe understand the Pike that is in Strange New Worlds more. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Also, I'm talking too fast. It's actually City at the Edge of Forever, I think is the name.
That's it's like a rock portal thing in there.
City at the Edge of Mm-hmm. It was based off a script written by Harlan Ellison, and then they did edits, obviously, because you have to. And Harlan Ellison's was notoriously difficult to work with. So then he got mad at them, and I think he tried to sue them for it. But whatever, it's a very lovely episode.
Cool. But yeah. I'm seeing a lot.
And it has a strong moral point that it is very specific about.
Ooh, I'm in. And yeah, TOS is just showing me where, like, I love seeing like who my heroes were, and like all the shows that I grew up on. I could see more and more of like, oh, you're getting it from TOS Star Trek. That's beautiful.
So yeah, I'm a little upsetty that you guys who love TNG got Star Trek Picard season 3. The other ones don't count. And meanwhile, like I got the movies, I guess. So fair enough. But meanwhile, the TOS related series is like, we're gonna slowly erase TOS. Haha.
Oh wait.
I know I haven't watched it. Wait, Michael, please convince me that it's amazing.
What's slowly erasing? Oh, Strange New Worlds is.
It's the prequel that's slowly like encroaching on.
Yeah, kind of starting to eat the roots of the original. Yeah. It's
different timelines to me. Different
universes. That's why I'm scared.
I did not keep them together. Different universes.
I have. When I said I enjoyed the episode 1 of season 2. Mm-hmm. It does not mean there's not a ton of things to nitpick, but I think we should save that for another day.
Mm-hmm. But Michael, you recommend it, yes?
I do, yeah. I mean, I just like Max said. I mean, I have nitpicks, but it was overall I was pleased with it. I mean, I've been pleased with the whole series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I recommend it because I like critiquing things.
And the theme music is a banger. I
yeah.
love it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we should do a separate episode just about Strange New Worlds.
Fully
I
agree.
will bring my hater pants with me.
I will have time to do homework.
Yeah.
Keith, I think I'm gonna have to commission actual hater pants for you on Etsy or something.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Do it. Do we have anything else to say about Picard?
Let's see.
No, it's A+, 9 out of 10. Well, solid A, 9 out of 10. Would watch again.
Yep.
Okay, then my closing question is, to make that 10 and 11, what would you do?
Well, that's a great question. Like they nailed so much so well that if they invited me onto the show, and had every cast member say that I was a very cool person in character,
personally inviting you to the set, copy that.
Just
if they gave me my own uniform and put me on the screen, I would love it even more.
Keith Hayward's so cool. Yes, I agree. Yes. Well, thank you.
Commander Hayward, report to the bridge.
The show is so much better now. I guess like the only thing
Wesley
that
or anything.
Nope. No, that'll kick it up a couple points. But I'll say like, if you want to kick it up, 2 more notches, is that the final battle would be a fleet of the legacy ships together.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Seeing the D and the Refit and the TOS and the Defiant and the Voyager all barrel rolling together into battle. I don't think
I would have loved to see the Defiant in the mix. That would have been a blast.
Cool. Yeah, I'm surprised that when they did that scene where Janeway, what the? My brain stopped working. And when they did that scene where Seven was showing Jack the different ships, and like there was that lovely moment where she paused on Voyager. Obviously, I liked that Voyager. One of the reasons I knew I was queer very early on was the relationship and like going on between Seven, B'Elanna, and Janeway. I was like, oh, I like smart ladies. Oh no. So obviously I love that bit, but we didn't see the Defiant in that scene.
It was just probably on the other side of the station. We couldn't see it.
And there's no one on that ship that would have a specific attachment to it.
Except they were showing random ships anyway.
Yeah.
Worf should have been able to say something about the Defiant, but he had Enterprise E jokes.
There's a very curious lack of like DS9 going on in Kurtzman Trek, and I wonder what's down with that. I'm very curious.
It's worth exploring. Yeah.
I think it comes down to
well noted.
General public knowledge. Like only real hardcore Star Trek fans know the DS9 is the best. Otherwise,
which is nonsense because it's clearly the best.
But who the heck else are they making these shows for?
Right.
They're trying to make it for the general public.
Well, they need to stop.
I agree. But that's why. Like, if you start talking about DS9, like Joe Schmo's like, what the hell? Where's my Kirk and Picards?
DS what?
DS what? What does DS even stand for?
Pretty much.
Michael, how you bringing Picard to an 11?
I was thinking about that while you guys were talking. I know I said I gave it like a 9. I'd go, I can't think of what I would do. I mean, I think, oh shit.
They did a pretty heckin' good job, and you don't know where there are holes you could fill.
Yep.
Yeah. I might have to reevaluate. That's like rate that 9 or 10 out of 10. But then take it to 11. I don't know.
Yeah, even my improvements actually take the quality down. Like
your improvement of Captain Hayward suddenly appearing.
Yes, that'll take it down. Also, the final battle should focus on just the Enterprise D. You don't need to. The finale is about this crew, so it should be just the one.
And 7 of 9.
Yes.
And Rafi.
Oh yeah.
And the kids.
Yes. The crew and friends.
I see what you're doing there.
No. I have no idea what you mean. Max, how are you bringing to an 11?
Yeah, I similarly. If we retooled some of the plot points that I found incongruent, the Borg DNA, just a lot of the stuff with the Borg, kind of took me out of it a little bit. I liked how our hero characters reacted to it, but from the outset, I'm like, that's a weird thing to be doing, or that's kind of not disrespecting, but just not remembering or not recalling what had happened before. So maybe just like tightening things up, better editing. But otherwise, man, like I said, the emotional highs were fantastic. We could do a little better with the plotting and editing.
Well, one final thing I want to say is like, the reason why it took so long for us to get this is that, let's see, like, so it starts with like analyzing it and whatnot. It starts with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who did the Sherlock Holmes books, and how he grew to hate that he was the Sherlock Holmes guy, and
that's
no
why
one
he
cared
killed
about
Sherlock.
Yeah, and like no one else cared about any things he did. Then like him killing Sherlock, like he got yelled at on the street. I think his mom even threatened him, and
there used to be this thing. Way back in the day, fandom was already pushy. There was a group of people who would wear black mourning bands around their arms, mourning Sherlock Holmes.
Damn, cool. Poor
Wow.
He was not happy about. Then like he gave in and gave. So this is what it sounded like. What was going on with Patrick Stewart? How much he did not want to be the Picard that we knew. Like he's like, I'm more than this one guy. And so when like they tried to get him back, he was like, sure, I'll come back, but let's do anything but Star Trek, please. And we got seasons 1 and 2, and I forget what happened that he finally buckled and was like, all right, let's do this. Let's call.
Maybe he watched them. I don't know.
Maybe.
It might have been somebody in his life.
He buckled and he was like, all right, maybe for one last one, let's get all the friends back together again. Because before that, he even called up. He was like, just so you know, I am doing this, but I'm not bringing you guys back. I want to be Indiana Jones in space or something. But finally he gave in, and I cannot thank him enough for just like, even if he's tired of it, I'm so thankful that even if he's tired of it, he gave us this one last adventure with Picard and friends. And I'm really thankful.
There's some parallelism there with Leonard Nimoy as well. Leonard Nimoy famously wrote several autobiographies, one of which was titled "I Am Not Spock." Early on in his life, where he was like, "Hey, I'm more than this guy." Like there's so many other things that I've done with my life that like even other roles that I've played. And then many years later, one of his later autobiographies was titled "I Am Spock."
What brought him back around?
That's it. The fandom. Like it meant so much to so many people, and he was like, "Oh, I have had this impact."
It's the power of love.
Yep.
This happened with Power Rangers. Like, the ones that I met throughout time. Like, they before the convention started, they could not be farther enough away. They're like, please don't talk to me about Power Rangers ever again. I want to move on with my life. And then they started seeing all these people and all the emotion welling up from all these people, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, you're welcome. And then they start showing up conventions, and they love about
humans. I think ultimately the society that we currently live in is very individualistic, but we're all just craving the community, and we just want to make other people's lives better.
Yep.
So,
and it's nice to have a bunch of people looking at you like, you made my life better.
Yeah.
So thank you, Patrick Stewart. Even if you didn't want to, it meant the fucking universe to me to have this. And be able to talk to you guys. But like I said, Max, Mike, this podcast, like it's meant a lot to me that I was able to talk to you guys about Picard. Like,
thanks for letting me complain, everyone. I love you.
Oh yeah,
I love you guys.
Love you back, guys. Like,
and Jay, we mean you also. We know you're not here.
Oh, and Jay.
I only highly like you, Jay, but that's a different story. We'll talk about later.
You're all right.
No. Yeah, that we got to have a season like season 3 of Picard and be able to talk to its friends.
We earned it
was
after
just
1 and
everything.
2.
I earned it after 1. I'm not watching 2. You can't make me.
It was enough.
No one can force me to watch 2.
We won't.
Oh my god. And since Jay's not here, that means we have the opportunity to say something nice about him, and he can't stop us. Hey Jay, message for you. I'm super impressed by like how much more you pay attention to like themes and little details and stuff since we started this podcast. Like when we started, you were like I just forgot about everything and I just let myself enjoy it. And you have a lot of really sound points. And look at that, so weird. We agree now.
Yep, throughout the podcast, we've seen his critical nature grow. And
yeah,
that's been
it's tremendous.
Experience.
I really enjoy it.
Yes.
I'm having a great time. Thank you, Jay.
Yet still brings the positivity.
Absolutely.
You can be positive and critical.
Word.
I am not those things, but it is possible to be both of those things.
We still have hope.
I'm not going to do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to focus more on the things that we like. So sometimes I just need to like word vomit about stuff that bothers me. It's fine. Picard is good, everyone. Go watch Picard.
Hell yes.
Maybe turn off your critical thinking a little bit.
All right.
Fair.
Is that it? Or Keith, do you want to lead us off there?
All right. Yeah. Do you have any other final words? Are we done?
Yeah.
I'm in a very good place.
Yep.
All right, then.
My final words are Star Trek fandom. I love you.
Rules. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Then the final word is thank you everyone for listening. Picard season 3 was a hell of a ride. And I'm glad they got to experience it with some of my best friends in the universe. So thank you everybody for listening. And remember, keep looking up.